Hey everyone. Hey Tammy, I didn't think you were going to be on.
I can't hear you. Hi.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to be on. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, I got rid of the headache, so.
Oh, good.
It's called the third week of testing season, and the two men's special education teachers I work with are complete morons. I'm serious, Danielle. I'm serious. Some of the stuff these guys do, it's like, how in God's name do you even have a job?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm ready for the school year to be over with.
I understand. I understand.
How are your girls doing?
Same thing. Terrible headaches lately. Sage is going on her third week and she refuses to get a migraine cocktail. She's just pushing through, but it's not going to go away. I keep reminding her, but she's an adult. What more can I do?
Well, yeah, you know what? Once they reach that age, there's not much you can do because Amanda's got things that I've tried to tell her you got to do, you got to do, you got to do.
Yep.
My mom said, you need to tell her, well, you need to tell her she needs to get a shot. Mom, she's 26 years old. She's been working in Oakland County this whole time. I can't tell her to get a shot. If she doesn't want to get it, I can't do anything about it.
Yep.
You know?
Okay, I'm trying to share my screen real quick. I just want to make sure you guys can see. Can you guys see my screen now if I do that? That's not the screen I want to show you, but shoot, now I can't get it. Here we go.
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Hi, ladies. We'll get started here pretty quick. I'm just trying to navigate.
Sorry for my vent session, y'all.
That's all right. We hadn't started yet. We're good.
How's my Jen doing?
Hanging in.
When does the boy leave, or what's the story? I forget what the date is.
26.
What is it?
A week from Thursday.
Oh gosh, I'm praying for you. God bless him for
Thank you.
doing what he's doing. But I can't imagine being your mama heartstrings right now, though.
We need to get together, Jen.
No, you tell me when.
Okay.
Okay, can you guys see the peach wallet when I do that?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. All right, let's get started. It's 8:32. If anybody hops on, they hop on. Hang on, I gotta look at one more thing here before we do start.
Tracy said she's on her way.
Okay. I'm trying to make sure. I can't see everyone at the same time when I share my screen, but I guess that's okay. So welcome everyone. I can't see exactly who all's here. Make sure that you check out the chat feature too, because I probably will have you guys answer some questions in chat. And go ahead and mute right now. I'm definitely going to have you guys participating, but I'm going to just kind of zip through a few things in May that happened. I'm not going to go into major detail because I do have May's event tomorrow night, but there's some things that are really exciting that I want to show you guys. So Mum's the word, you're seeing it here first. This is the May playbook, and I do believe it's only out for leaders right now. So your playbook may look a little different. I think it's similar, but I just can't help but show you guys a few things that are happening in the playbook. So we're going to zip through it really quick. We're not going to look at every single thing. Connected contacts, I do have that on my list to talk about. So booking May, this is the set, if you guys have not seen it, which this is on TOT. You guys can see this, but this is the fun set. It's a New Horizons tote, a Fresh Market thermal, and the size up expandable pouch. You can kind of see is up here in the top, the pink. They always get free personalization. The whole bundle is 60% off. So I think it can be used. I want to point out two things that I think they're great for. I think that it's great as a booking tool. I think that when you see someone who wants any of these three things, you want to point out like, oh my gosh, you should consider having a party because it's a great booking tool to actually get them in the gate. But I also think It's a really great push to get every single insider to $500. I want to make sure you guys are doing that also. Like, get it in front of her out of the gate when you're getting her to make her wish list. Make sure she realizes it. Like, just right away ask her, what prints would you choose in this? What are you going to personalize on it? Because it's free. So those are just some really quick conversations I wanted to point out if you're not doing. Selling in May is still 50% off. I want to point out this little sneak peek. Look at this. Okay, see this turquoise box? It says Summer Skies Collection. I know you can barely see it, but it's going to start. I'm getting some feedback. Everybody want to hit mute just to be sure. It's going to start May 10th and go through July 31st. We've got a little summer guide that they're going to do. And what you can't see on that are those are actual little, they're gnomes. They're like red, white, and blue themed. Just a second. I'm going to mute a couple of you because I hear. Might be Derica, might be, yep, we got it. Okay, so those are gnomes. They're like little 4th of July, little gnomes. And then there was a couple other prints and there's like popsicles and oh my gosh, just super, super fun. So you're hearing it first, get excited. I know some people have questioned that we're keeping the catalog so long, but I think 31 is doing a really good job of keeping things fresh still and giving us new things. So just keep that in mind. Plus, I just think they've hit it out of the park with this catalog, but I think people are not going to get bored of a lot of the items. All right, we don't need to talk about solution sets. Just a reminder that you're always trying to really incorporate doing roundup with your orders. We don't need to talk about that a ton though. It's the top 10. Again, all of this will be, oh, look at, there's a sneak peek though. Okay, look at, I'm gonna scroll back up. Look at the little stars with the little red and white handle on the large utility tote. So that's another fun print coming. And there looks like they're expecting that to be in the top 10. Oh no, this is top 10 mom approved. That might be a little bit different. Pops of personality. These aren't really new. Okay, this is something big. So you guys, I know we have everything from some oldies but goodies on here of consultants and some really new consultants. But in a nutshell, I want to tell you guys, I'm gonna actually, gosh, I'm really not the best with navigating Zoom as much anymore. I got to get better here. Trying to figure out, I don't want to share. Nope. How do I stop? Sorry. Stop share. Got it. Okay. I want you to see my face. So I really want to just really briefly tell you guys, I've been doing this for 8.5 years. And like any business, there have been peaks and valleys. Okay. I started in what they call the prime time. So I started November of 2012 and 2013 and 2014, like 31 was booming. They were like #1 in the industry. Sales were out of the roof. People were joining out of the roof. 2012, not when I joined, but prior to me, like there was a wait list to get in. Like it was hot. Okay. And then like any business, we had a valley. I mean, we were down, we've slowly like went down and for a few years. And the past couple of years, we've been in that valley. Well, for those of you that are newer and don't know that the infrastructure has changed a little bit, we actually have a joint. So Cindy Monroe, our founder, is now partial owner. She stepped down from the CEO. We had some really amazing people that have come in a nutshell, that have helped businesses like Pampered Chef and a lot of different businesses grow, you guys. And I have a Pampered Chef friend. Again, some of you have been around for a while. You have met her. She actually taught at one of our retreats. She had been as high as basically like what our level NED is. She had also been down in the valley. Pampered Chef was like 31. They were down in the valley and they're like a little bit ahead of us. Okay. They were down in the valley before us and then now they're up again before us. And when I asked her about this company that's coming in and these people that are coming in and helping her, her first thing was like, girl, hold on to your bootstraps because you were in for like the ride of your life. You are going to see so many changes, but they're positive. She was back up. She had went from the 6-figure income down to a very low 5-figure income and back up to the 6-figure income. And for those of you that have been around, even in just the past year, I guarantee you're seeing it too. Like you can see what your sales are, and COVID has been a part of that too. But even aside from COVID, you can see things are going up and up. So with that said, I can't stress enough, people want to join 31 right now. Okay. And I cannot stress enough, it is not about you. I don't care if you joined this to make $50 a month, to have one party every other month. And this is not something that you want to make a full-time career. You don't want to do a whole lot of things with it. Don't let that be your excuse that you're not sharing, because someone shared with you, okay, and you decided you wanted to join for some type of reason, even if it's just to get your nails done, even if it's just to get your bag fixed. I don't care what it is. There are other women like you, and the numbers are just going through the roof right now of women that are just joining. And I know that Tracy can shake her head, and some of the other girls on the call, I can't see who else on here, will shake their heads that, like, legitimately some of the recruits are falling from the sky, you guys, and you didn't ask. But shame on us if we're not asking also, okay? Because there are those women who will not just, they won't just do it. They need to know that you see them. So with that said, I'm gonna jump back in. So I know that it feels like they have been throwing all kinds of recruiting incentives, but it's because women want to join. So we had the dollar incentive, we had the $31 or 31% off, and they have both just been hot as heck. And now, trying to move my screen, we are doing basically a rebate type of thing. It's called Money Back May. So new consultants that join in May, don't quote me on the dates because I just have here what you guys see. I know more details will be coming, but I'm assuming it's all of May, but don't quote me. But if they sell their 1,000 in their first 30 days, they're going to get a bonus that's equal to the cost of their enrollment kit. So yes, that's the $59, the $99, or the $179 kit. Now, don't go blasting this everywhere right now, you guys, because I'm telling you this is my leader playbook I'm showing you right now. This is not open to all the field. So don't you dare go to that pink bubble support group or any other group and leak this. It's not to say you won't see it, but that doesn't mean you can't start the conversations right now. If you have had anyone on the brink of thinking about joining, this is a great opportunity that she can earn her money back on her kit and then some. I don't know, again, I wish I could see better who's on the call, but I can tell you right now, my past, gosh, I don't even know where we're at, but probably past at least half a dozen to a dozen who have joined have earned their kit back by the money they made on their party. Can you imagine earning your kit because 31 is paying you? Plus you're still going to get that extra $250, $500 that you just made off of your 1,000 or 2,000. How many women do you know like need that, you guys? What is that going to do for her? Whether it's the nails or the electric bill. So put this in your back pocket and remember, and then last but not least, I can't help but let you know, Tracy and Shannon and I and Heather and any of your directors, we do all of the work. So don't freak out either that you're brand new or that you just don't do this enough and you don't know what the heck you're doing. That's not your job. It's not your job at all. That is our job as a director to actually do all of that work. Your job is to just be her cheerleader and show up at her party and build a relationship with her, just like you would a hostess or anything else. And should you want leadership down the road, great. You're going to shadow all of it. You're going to see what it looks like. Should you not want leadership, also great. Doesn't matter. Okay. I don't want to get into major talks about senior consultants and elite consultants starting in May, but those are all things that I just want you to know, those of you that are new also, you have $50 Pika credits you're going to get also. So if she hits this 1,000, she's going to get her kit back and she's going to make money, but you as a sponsor are also going to get a $50 product credit if she hits that 1,000 as well, just in her first 90 days. Doesn't even have to be the first 30. So keep that in mind also. They have some opportunity events. Those will all be on the calendar. We will have opportunity events, of course, too. Impact. So the next thing I want to talk about, we might come back to recruiting just a little bit, but I want to talk about impact. And I do want to stop sharing, and I do want to have some of you chit chat about impact. So usually in the past, I like to say that conference, or Impact as it's called now, is like the best sleepover for women of the year. Like, it's so fun, you guys. Now, virtual makes it a little different, so I want to talk about a couple of things with that. If you are new and it's $49, I'm telling you, if you do nothing else, like, I don't want to tell you this because this is like not what I really want you to do, but if you do nothing else but take the free product and run, like, you're crazy not to, because it's going to be well worth the $49 of free product. Okay. But I really think if you're on this call, you must want to do something with 31. And I don't care, again, if that's one party a month, like, that's totally cool. I don't care if that's one every other month, but you're here because you kind of like this. The training is amazing. And I can't tell you like enough either. It's not just 31. It is life training. Like, there are speakers that will just motivate you in all forms of your life, whether that's with your family or your husband or your kids or your other job, or just your own well-being. You will be inspired by the speakers. They hire nothing but amazing and the best speakers, and you will get tons of nuggets how to work your business too. It's only a day and a half this year, so you're really not devoting a ton of your time either. Like, it's not like it's this huge thing. And I know some of you already talked about, like, you work, they record it, they keep it open for a few days. Now, back to the slumber party part. I am willing to host something, but I will tell you a couple of things. So this is where I posted, I know, on the team page once who was interested, and I know some of you have kind of talked about it. People want to travel in Michigan right now. So things are booked like crazy. So it's going to be go big or go home. Like, we need a lot of people because we're seriously going to have to get like the giant house, which is super fun. We've done it before, but we're going to have like the 15 plus people at this event to be able to afford one of these places, so that we all, you know, aren't paying out of our arms and, you know, our legs and giving away children. Or I'm going to have to look at the possibility of renting a place. So similar to what I would do with a CNC, something more local where we're not necessarily traveling. And I know, again, for some of you, you aren't local. And so no matter what, Michigan is out of the question, or Corona's out of the question. You know, I realize it's not going to appeal to everyone. And I will look at the dynamics of where everyone lives. If I even pick Corona, maybe I would rent something more centrally located. So I'm going to be looking for feedback. Who is interested in either or, so that I can start planning that as soon as possible. But one way, shape, or form, for those of us that do want to get together and want to have some connection with real people, like, I want to offer that. I want to make sure that we're doing that. Because last but not least, before I open it up to a couple people talking about what they love about Impact in the past and conference, I do think, now, I understand if you can't get time off work, you can't get time off work, or if these aren't days that you think are important to get off. But for those of you that generally have the weekend off, I can't stress enough, if you're going to be serious about doing this, to really, even if it's not with us, to make sure your family knows and devote your time. Like, I think Tracy can speak. Last year, her family knew, like, I'm going to be in my office all day. This is my thing. Don't ask me for dinner. Don't come in and tell me the dog needs out. Like, whatever that looks like hire a babysitter if you've got the little kids, you know, whatever that looks like for you. But I can't stress enough, because most of the people who say they're going to watch the videos later don't. And now that might not be you. You might be really good at that. And if so, then I want you to schedule now. What day are you going to do it? Like, if you know now Saturday and Sunday is out of the question, then I want you to mark your calendar, if you're going to sign up now. When are you going to watch it? Because otherwise, I know what's going to happen. I know I'm guilty. I've bought tons of trainings that I don't watch. If I can't watch them live, you know, and they normally have a time limit, and that 3 months is up, and it's like, there's a day left and there's 24 hours of material to watch, and I've only got 24 hours. I've done it a million times. It's just human nature. We procrastinate. We don't do those types of things. So get it on your calendar. Okay. With that said, I'd like to open up to a couple of you that have done it in the past. And I just want you to tell maybe a couple of your takeaways. Why should they do it? What did you love about it? That sort of thing. Tracy, can I get you to go first? Yep.
Yeah. The first thing is the level of excitement that you come out of Impact with. You so much, you see so you just get so excited. I know that sometimes we get into the rut of doing our day to day, every one, and there is nothing. Cindy's inspirational, the talks that she does, worship on Sunday. Like I don't go Sunday, but I am telling you what, worship at Impact, Danielle, I was bawling. Like I cry on there. It's just so wonderful. And it's not the level of excitement that I come out of Impact with, because my first year I got to go, and then last year was my second year last year. And I'm honestly, yeah, right. The kids, everybody knew. My husband knew. I sat for a portion of it outside on the deck. I came in the house. Actually, Tori laid in here on the floor with me and listened because she wanted to see the products. So, but it was cool that I got to share that too, So I think that's my biggest piece, is there's just so much, to get, and so much to, I get. I don't know. It's excitement. That's really the biggest part for me.
Absolutely. Excitement is like a great word. It's really fun. If you love 31's products, like, you're going to love what they do, because they always just have so much to show you. And again, they spoil it with you. Tammy, can I hear from you?
This year is at yoga.
Yeah, we're doing yoga this year. And that is because Scott is still, I don't know how many of you guys know, but Scott is, so that's Cindy's husband. He had COVID and he actually developed a palsy from it. He's going to be okay. It's going to go away eventually, but he is unable to play the saxophone or sing or do anything. Yeah. So it's killing him. So they're doing yoga. So they're doing like a little bit of a different twist, but it's supposed to be really good. And I'm sure that will be amazing too. So yeah. Okay. So Tammy, you want to tell a little bit what you loved about Impact?
Yeah. So I wasn't able to go the first year because I signed up at the end of May, and I couldn't go. And I went last year, the virtual, and it was kind of like, I told my family, like you said with Tracy, I was in the room all day, and the speakers were amazing. And there was one, and I am drawing a blank on her name. There was a speaker we had. She talked about, she's got a couple of books, and gosh, what was her name?
I don't remember everybody's names.
But there was the audio book, and she just talked about how, as moms, especially working moms, we're all working moms, but if you work a job outside of the home, you just have so much, and you have so many expectations. And she said, good enough is the perfect. You don't have to be perfect. And it was just so uplifting. And, just talking about the things that she'd been through there. I wish I could remember the name of that speaker. I bought her book. I listened to it, and then I bought it.
It was Jessica Turner.
Yes.
Stretch Too Thin is the book. I just found it out because I bought it on Audible.
Yes. And I tell you what, ladies, if you have a chance, get that audio book and listen to it. I listened to it in the car on the way back and forth to work. And it was such an amazing thing. And there's just so many uplifting things. And there was another lady that was on there too. And just having the connection of, Stretch Too Thin is what it's called. And just being able to connect with others. Tracy and I would kind of go between breaks and say, hey, did you see this? And, we kind of tried to have it a little bit together. Obviously we couldn't be together because of COVID, but I think if we could do something together as a group this year, it'd be phenomenal. It would just, it was like every time I turned around, they were putting products out there, and you get so excited about the new catalog, because it had been a while since we had a catalog, and we got all the new holiday product coming out. And it just really, like Tracy said, you just leave feeling so uplifted and so amazing. And for me last year, because I had COVID back in the spring, and that was kind of what I needed to help get me that boost to get my butt in gear, so to speak, and get me to where I felt like I could do more. Yep. I just can't say enough great things about it. And I am just so beyond excited. And Danielle, if we decide to there's a house that we rented up at Mullet Lake. We rented it after my son's graduation, and we had like 15, 18 people there. Gorgeous place. If
Give me
that's
the
something we could do.
We'll see if it's open. I know there's so many places that are just booked. So yeah, thank you for sharing, Tammy. And I think one of the things that, like she shared, is The stretch too thin is a perfect example. Like, it's for your life, you guys. That is not just about 31. She spoke to like your heart, like to your, like whoever you are. And even if you're not a mom, I mean, a lot of it went towards that, or if your kids are older, like as women, it's just what we do, right? Like we stretch ourselves too thin. And so there's always speakers like that, that I promise they're going to speak to you on any level, not just a 31 level. All right.
And
so
Danielle, it wasn't, you know, I mean, it was, to me, I felt it as a mom. I mean, I have a 26-year-old and a 23-year-old, and I still find myself, you know, like the guilt and stuff. And so, I mean, it was just, I think I'm going to go back and reread her book and listen to it again, because it was just so wonderful.
Yep. Nope. I agree for sure. So yeah, so I've started an event. If you've not looked on TOT at all the details, check it out. Invest in yourself. It's $99 if you've been in this longer than June 1st of last year. It's only $49 if you've signed up since then. And either way, you're going to get product above and beyond that, as well as the training. So I just can't stress it enough. And then yes, if you're wanting to go, make sure you reach out to me. If you're wanting to go somewhere or meet in person, I'd really like to start working on that too. Okay, let me go back one more time, share that screen, and let's make sure there was nothing else. I think we were just about through. Oh, Seize the Day. That is an event coming up. I believe they don't have the date here. I want to say May 8th.
Yep, May 8th at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. It's a Saturday. If you have not watched, let's see if there's anything else here. If you have not watched the last Seize the Day, yeah, I'm pretty sure we're done here. And I just want to move on if we are. Yes, we are. If you have not watched the last Seize the Day, I can't tell you enough to not go into the Pink Bubble 31 led group, not to be confused by some Pink Bubble. I don't know what the other group is called.
Pink Bubble Support.
Yeah, Pink Bubble Support Group. I'm not a fan of that page. I know some of you are on there. I know that it's, they mean well, but it's not 31 Rand, and it tends to have some negative blah, blah, non-IPAs, which is income producing activities. So if you go there and you find photos and things, great. I think there's better pages for it. My thing is just don't waste your time somewhere that you're not actually going to make money and you're not learning something. So the actual Pink Bubble 31 page, if you type in the top in the search engine, Seize the Day, you're going to find one that was from March, and there are 2 videos, and the information in it is phenomenal. It is like a mini conference, to be honest. There are myself and several other leaders that were asked to share, and oh my gosh, some of the things that the other leaders shared, a lot of it that I say, you're going to be like, oh, I know that. She's my leader. I've heard it. I get that part of it. You can ignore me if you want. They're great reminders, but there are some other leaders that shared, and there is just good stuff. Like, I can't stress enough that that's another, like, I want to say it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours total of videos to watch, and you can watch it in parts if you need to. But also mark your calendar for May 8th, because I guarantee it's going to be just as good. They're doing the same thing. They've asked other leaders to train the field, basically, that are, you know, they asked those of us that are really doing great in one area or another to train. So I'm sure it's going to be good. Okay. Next is on to my list. So if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my phone. So I have some new things that I'm kind of starting, and you've kind of seen me launch and you've seen me talk about a little bit, but I have some more ways that we're going to do Happy Mail. Full disclosure, I am now officially 2 months behind on Happy Mail, both with you guys and my parties and all kinds of things. So please give me grace. I've not forgotten it. It's just like, it's on the back burner and it's moving to the front burner, I promise. So with that said, yes, I have things to give out from the past couple of bingos and all kinds of stuff, but I promise I won't forget. But a couple of things that I am doing, and I'll be super transparent. My virtual assistant is helping with me with these, so I won't fail. I promise. You're going to get your Happy Mail for these. So a couple of things, if you noticed, is green by 15, and 31 is actually kind of talked about this a little bit. And that is having 500 in by the 15th of the month, so that you're getting a paycheck on that first, on the, you know, from the beginning of the month, you'll get paid on the 25th, basically. So for everyone that gets 500 in on that green by the 15th every month, you're going to be entered for Happy Meal for that one. I've not drawn the name yet, but I'd like to celebrate you guys because this is who is in on it for this month. It's Heather Beard, Shannon Sawyer, Derica, Carissa, Tracy, Heidi Hill, Jackie. I don't know how to say that last name. I believe she's on your team, Tracy. Tammy Brinker with a Tammy with an I, Jessica France, Kristen Burns, Catherine Crane, both Danielles. We've got Danielle Zaruba Day and Danielle Davis and Tabitha Harwick. So woohoo to all of them for having 500 before green by 15th. So put that in your back pocket. There may or may not be wink, wink bingo cards if you're green by 15 with the 500 too, just saying. And so for those of you that are new, we do play bingo once a month. And that's another team meeting. And you kind of get celebrated again you get points for having different things throughout the month. The next thing that I want to talk about that I'm starting are some $1,000 clubs and some $2,000 clubs because holy cow, are you guys killing it with the sales? So a lot of you are hitting the $500 range, which is just over the top exciting. But a lot of you are hitting the $1,000 range, and even more of you are hitting the 2,000 plus. And we're talking every month, you guys. And so I want to start celebrating this more. So I have some cute little, I wish I had them to show, but I went ahead and sent them to my virtual assistant because like I told you, I don't want to fail at sending them to you. So there are these cute little sloth charms that I found. So when you land yourself in the $1,000 club or the $2,000 club, you're going to be able to collect these cute little sloth charms that you're going to get, some fun little Happy Mail. And then on top of that, I'm going to run this per catalog season. So we're going to retro back to March. Okay. You're going to get your sloth for March and you're going to get it for April. And I'm going to tell you who that is because I've got it in front of me here too. And then on top of that, March through, what is it, August? Yeah, March through August is this catalog season. If you hit either one of those clubs, 4 out of the 6 months, you're going to get some additional Happy Mail at the end of the catalog season too. Okay. So, dun, 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 the March $1,000 club, we have Derica, Lauren, Carissa, Heather Richards, Catherine Crane, Heidi Hill, Emily Way. We had a couple of you that were really close that I just want to point out. Now that you know that this is a club, you might want to start reaching for it. I want to point out that Tammy Collins had 816 and Tara Fry, and I know both of you guys are on this club in this call, had 972. Now, the $2,000 club, I can't believe that there are just as many of you. It's so exciting. So Danielle Day, and again, this is for March, Jessica France, Kristen Burns, Tammy Brinker, Shannon Sawyer, Tracy Hyde, and Heather Beard. And some of you, if I had a $5,000 club, you all are in that too. Like, it is amazing what you guys are doing. All right, so for April, because we're now announcing it, I want you guys to kind of see where you're at. These are the girls that are really close. So Jen, I know Jen, you're on this call. You are at 817, super close to that $1,000 club. Tammy Collins, same thing, 841, super close. Catherine Crane is at 860. Ariel, I think you're on the club, and this could have changed by now too, Ariel. You were at 925, and I know you've got your launch and some parties going, so you might have hit that by now. The $1,000 club that I have so far is Danielle Zaruba Day, Carissa Escamilla, Tabitha, Derica, Kristen Burns is only $168 away from the $2,000 club. And then now moving on to the $2,000 club, we have Heidi Hill, Caitlin Terry, Danielle Davis, Jessica France, Shannon Sawyer, Tammy Brinker, Heather Beard, and Tracy Hyde. Listen to all of those in the $2,000 club. Like, I can't even, I'm like over the moon excited for you guys that you guys are getting these paychecks month after month. So, and then we do have a couple in the 500 right now too. So I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about that. I'm going to go back to my list. Okay, back to recruiting really briefly. I told you guys that I wanted to remind you guys of just a couple other things. And that is, I do still have the pearls to open. So if you have recruited anybody in March or April, I have to buy more pearls because you all have recruited more pearls than I have. How amazing is that? Not only am I behind, but I have to buy more. So if you have not seen, I bought these little, they're like, I don't know, don't quote me if it's a clam or what the correct C term is. but it's like an oyster or a clam and it has a little pearl in it. They're all different colors. And then I bought little lockets that it goes in. So we have got to start having fun, and I got to start opening those for you guys and showing you what colors you got. So if you recruit or you sponsor someone, you get a pearl. So some of you have those coming and you didn't even know it. And then we still have our map and our money in the jar. So the map, I don't have all of the stuff in front of me. I just did like hauling it all out. But for every recruit that we've had since, I believe it's July 27th, $1 is going in the jar, okay? And then we have a map. I have a big scratch off map, and every state that someone gets a new recruit from, we scratch off the map. Now, some of those states like Michigan, for sure, for an example, we have multiple people. The dollars still go in the jar, but obviously we're not scratching another state. When we get all 50 states, and I have no idea how long this is going to take. I said this when we started, it might take a few months, it may take a few years, I don't know. But the money's going in the jar. When all the states are scratched off, we're drawing out of the jar one lucky person. Every time you've sponsored, the dollar goes in there and your name's going in the hat. Someone's going to win all the money. And we are up over $100 in the jar already. And I think 20 states, 20 plus states. So super exciting, right? Like, I'm just so excited. We're doing so amazing. I see Tracy over there just like, oh my goodness. Okay, so I think that's all I really want to say about recruiting. Yes, bingo. I have not set the date, but it will be a Sunday evening. I know, Tara, that's tough for some of you that work nights, but I'm finding that Sunday evening is just the best for most of us. Probably 8 or 8:30. And I've got to avoid Mother's Day. So I got to look at the calendar and my schedule and kind of work around that. I don't think we're going to do it the weekend before because we've got this meeting right now and I've got the event tomorrow night that you guys are doing. So it's probably going to be a little bit more towards the middle of May, which may be a little off from when we've done it, just to kind of give you guys a heads up there. Obviously, we don't want to do anything on Memorial Day either. So we'll work
Let's do a Friday.
Friday, possibly. Our Friday's good.
Come on.
It's Friday.
I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays.
Okay, I will look at Fridays. Fridays is a possibility, and I know Tara loves to play bingo. So, but know that that's coming in a couple of weeks. So just watch. That'll be an event on the team page. If you've not been part of it, it's so much fun, you guys. It's a fun meeting. I try to keep it less than what I'm doing right now with talking so that we can play bingo at the end. But we do go through some of the main points and we celebrate and all that good stuff. And then we actually play bingo and you guys win prizes. Okay. There have been so many new people, as well as it just could have gotten missed because I've only posted it a couple of times, but I want to make sure you guys realize I started a new training group. It's called Danielle's Training Playground. Show of hands, who's in there already? Who knows what I'm talking about? Yes, yes, yes. It's a work in progress. I am taking all of the trainings that I've ever made and I'm trying to get them in the guides, which used to be called units. Now they're called guides. And I have a couple of trainings that I need to make as well. So I have about 3 or 4 trainings that I already have that exist and I need to get them in there. And then I have a couple that I need to make. So for those of you that are new and are not in there, it's a really great place to go on your downtime. You're going to learn about mega parties. You're going to learn some booking ideas, some recruiting ideas, clubs, you name it, fundraisers, like everything you can possibly think of is going to be housed in that one place. It's also great for those of you, I know Tammy with a C, Tammy Collins, is great that she always goes there. She's a great one that goes back to it because she knows she needs more ideas, because it's just one of those things that you're going to go back. Even me, every time when I make these trainings and I go revisit, I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't tried this game in a while, or I haven't done this in a while. So you're always going to go back and find little nuggets too, because there's so much there. So just want to point that out. If you're not part of it, holler at me later, put that down, jot it down in your notes, make sure that you get the link for that. And the last things I want to talk about, what time is it? It's 9:08. We're doing good. I wanted to be less than an hour. So the last 4 things I want to talk about, and I want to kind of open the floor to, there's 4 categories. And I want to talk about those of you that are doing mega parties versus those of you that are still just doing one party. And I want to get some real numbers from some of you, what that looks like, how it's going, either or, whatever that looks like. I want to talk about connected contacts. That's another training that's in that playground as well. That is not my personal training. I had someone share it with me and it's wonderful. And I have a video from Tracy that I'm going to be sharing with you guys on connected contacts that she made me a couple weeks ago that is going to get posted for you guys too. And the last bingo, if you guys were on, she really talked about the importance and how wonderful those connected contacts are. I want to talk about clubs. I just want to know who is actively doing clubs, who's working on clubs. And lastly, I want to talk about fundraisers and who is doing fundraisers or needs more information or anything like that. So in those 4 areas, if you're taking notes, it's mega parties versus one party, connected contacts, clubs, fundraisers. I want to open the floor. I don't want to be the one talking about all of these things because I know that you're all going to be like sometimes, oh, Danielle's up here and she's doing all of these things. But as you can see, there's a whole lot of ladies on this team doing these things too, or they wouldn't all be in this $2,000 plus club. So that's why I want to get some feedback from all of you. And even if you're trying those things and you're not in the $2,000 club, I want to hear from you. I want to know what's working and not working so that we can kind of troubleshoot and talk about that too. So in those 4 areas, who wants to chat? Don't be shy. Unmute yourself and let's hear. Go for it, Tammy.
So I have to admit, I was very resistant to the mega parties. I had tried some last year and they just didn't work, but it was supposed to be 4, 2 of them dropped out, but I've got a 2-person mega party going right now. And it's closing on Friday and it's been pretty good for me. And I even posted something the other day, kind of like, did I mention that this is a battle where the hostess who has the highest volume sales gets something from me? No? Well, yes, it is. And I said who was, had the highest, and the other host said, come on, I don't want to be lagging behind. So it's kind of interesting. And I don't know if any of you guys get the stuff from Shailene Kuhn, but I'm using the sloth one with her, and everybody is loving that. And then it doesn't have just the sloth. I mean, that's what you start out with. And I've got a lot of people that really like that, but then it's got some other stuff too in there. And I'm sold. I was very resistant, but I'm sold. And I've got a couple of parties for next month that I'm going to have them do the battles too. So it took me a while to get there. I'm old and, set in my ways, but it worked well. Connected contacts, I know that's something I need to do more of, but I have to tell you the last 3 weeks, like I said at the beginning, it's just been draining because of testing and like I said, the 2 special ed guide teachers that I work with just don't know what they're doing. And I do have, seriously, it's just frustrating, but that's for another day. And then the clubs I did one where I had, I actually got the idea from Shannon where I had 4 people and every 3 months they order, and I'm just coming up to the end. Next month is my last month on that, so I'm going to start doing more, but every 3 months they ordered. So they would each be a hostess for one time. And it's actually really worked well because people are like, oh, wait, is it my turn to host? And so they get a chance to where, they can, get something different out of the different catalogs. And what's really nice with that is that when I have, so basically I had 12 people. If somebody said, hey, this month, I have the extra income because it's Christmas, well, somebody switch it up with me, and it worked out really well. And I really like that idea. And I have to, again, thank Shannon for that because I saw that she had posted that and it worked out really well. Fundraisers, I'm having trouble with those, with trying to
We lost you.
but
there.
I have been talking about fundraisers, and I don't know if people just don't understand it or they just don't want to, but so that's all I have to say.
I like it.
Oh, and there's 21 more school days with students.
Yay! All of the teaching staff is ready, right? It's that time of year we've had enough. Okay, so Lisa asked about connected contacts. So I do want to briefly talk about that for sure. No, it is not an app. It is actually something that 31 launched to us. So there is a program called Accelerate, first of all, in a nutshell, and it's for directors and above who want to move their business, okay? And I did it this fall, and Tracy's in it right now. But then, of course, then they're guiding all of us to really teach the field and make sure that our teams are doing it. It was on the last Seize the Day, and I have a training. But in a nutshell, It is taking your basically contacting and messaging people to another level. So before, it was really easy to say, okay, yes, I messaged 30 people this week. And if I were to ask you, how many people did you actually talk to? You might say, 5. And it's like, okay, that really wasn't like, that was actually kind of passive aggressive. You didn't really work very hard. That probably took you 10 minutes to send those 30 messages. You didn't accomplish much. So your goal, rather than planning how many messages you're going to send, is to get 15 people to talk to you. Now they can tell you, no way, Jose. They can tell you, I don't want whatever you're doing. Okay, that counts. That's a connected contact because they responded. And so I don't want to go into the details of like how to get them there, but a lot of it is not always just 31 either, right? Like you got to start off slow. You got to build the relationship. You got to have a reason to message them. And I know, Lisa, you know all of this. You've been great with this kind of stuff, right? But eventually you've got to ask something from 31. It doesn't just count either if you talked about little Susie's kids. That's not a connected contact yet either, right? So our goal that 31 is giving us is 15 a week for those of us that want to move your business. Now, for those of us that just want to maybe party, say once a month, then your goal would be 5 a week. Those of you that want to take it maybe a little higher, your goal is 10 a week. But really move your business. Those of you that want to be in that $2,000 club, you want this to be something, you want to have a full mega party every month, that sort of thing. You want to work for 15 a week. And one of the things I wanted to bring up when I was listening to Tammy that I think I've said to some of you, and I might have said on bingo, but I'm not sure, is, so again, you're going to hear from 31, 15 a week, 15 a week, 15 a week. I'm going to be realistic with you. My schedule doesn't always work that way either. I don't always have time to do the 15 a week. Instead, I have time to do 30 one week and none the next week, and 30 the next week and none the next week. Sometimes I know this week I'm going to get 60 and I'm going to call it good for the month. And these are going to be all my follow-ups from the last month. Okay. Like you have to know what your schedule is like. Now, if you're someone who just keeps avoiding it and keeps putting it on the back burner, then I'm going to say you need to do 15 a week and you need to do 3 a day, 5 days a week, right? Like you need to, Tara's saying it's me, right? You need to break it down and you need to simplify it and take the little bites, right? You have to know you have to know your personality, you have to know your schedule, you have to know what's going to work for you. But the goal basically is 60 a month, okay? And I can tell you, if you are making real connected contacts, you're going to move mountains in your business. You are going to start seeing the things. And if you're sliding down the mountain, everybody knows my sliding down the mountain, you're doing the 4 questions, you're doing all of those things, it's going to move mountains for sure. So thank you so much for Tammy for sharing all those, especially because some of it was stuff that's working and some of it's stuff that's not working. For fundraisers, I will say the same thing for fundraisers and clubs that I can tell you for both of them. You've just got to keep that if you build it and they will come mentality, and it might not happen overnight. But are you putting it in your party? Every single day of your party? Are you sliding down the mountain and you're offering it? Is it in your survey? If it's in all of those places, I see Tammy shaking her head, it's going to happen. You're going to get there. It just takes time with both of those things. But for a lot of people, those are the reminders. That might be the light bulb going off that you're like, yeah, you know what? I only ask it for the club like every couple of months. I put it in my customer group every once in a while, but I'm really not including it everywhere. I am very intentional with it, you guys. It is everywhere. I am constantly talking about those 2 things. I get asked all the time. And then again, like I said, once you start getting them, more people, it's like FOMO. People are like, you do fundraisers? Oh my gosh, you did a fundraiser with her? I mean, it's FOMO is fear of missing out, right? They start to hear about the club and the fundraisers and they want to do it too. Okay. We've still got time. I want to hear from a couple more. And you don't have to talk about all of the areas. If you just want to talk about one of those 4 areas, mega parties, clubs, fundraisers, and connected contacts, something that's working for you, something that's not working for you, I want to hear from you. So who else wants to share? I know we got a lot of people just listening. Tracy, you want to go ahead? Oh, Jen does too. Jen, why don't you go first and we'll let Tracy go. Go for it, Jen. Unmute yourself.
I was talking to Tracy, was it 2 weeks ago or something? When I'll be like at the store picking up stuff, for Happy Meal and stuff, and I'll ask for like a different receipt for the, stuff, the products for the business. And when they ask me, I'll just say it's for my business, and then they'll ask me what my business is for. Well, I've been handing out all these business cards, right? And I found out 2 days ago that where I had changed from my consultant ID number to my Jen the Bag Ladies message, it goes to a empty page.
Ruh-roh.
Yep.
Okay.
So I
So-
have to go through and fix all my business cards right now.
Okay.
But
Well-
and then I mean I'll be standing at the end of the day, the teachers take the kids to the bus, and then they'll stand in the hallway for a few minutes talking, and I'll be pushing my cart through because that's what I do. And I'll just like stop and I'll turn and I'll say, "Did you just say you wanted to host a 31 party with me?" Just like out of the blue. And I know they didn't say it, but it just kind of puts a thought in their head, and then I just
Yep.
keep going down the hall.
So Jen, I want you to get with Tracy because I know Tracy was making a face too. Like, I want to see if we can troubleshoot what is happening, why that happened, because I don't know like that. But if Tracy, I'm sure can help you kind of look, you might have to call home office even. I don't know, but let's find out why. But the bigger thing that I want to stress is, and this is for all of you, is that when you hand out a business card or that mini catalog or whatever you're handing out, okay, I want to say to you, when you go to an event or you're talking to someone and they hand you all of those little things, right? So they're handing you candy and they're handing you pencils and they're handing all of those things. What do you do with that stuff? Do you contact them? Does anybody? Yeah, Lisa's going, meh, right? Like you probably don't do much.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, but you are so much better off if you pull out your phone and you pull out your app and you get their contact information and ask if you can follow up with them too. Because otherwise you tend to be giving out stuff and they're not going
I'm
to come
putting my earbud in.
And especially that would be, look
Don't
at
it
how
look pretty now, the mower?
And I'm muting. I don't know. HL's phone that just joined. Oh, she muted. Maybe. Sometimes it works, yes. But that would be a great way for you to troubleshoot right now too, Jen, is if you had those contacts, you could message them and you'd be able to say, oh my gosh, I realized my website isn't working. Like you'd have a reason to contact too. So just keep that in mind. It's super scary. I'm not gonna lie. Like that just takes the conversation further. Like it's getting out of you. It's that getting out of that.
Never tried to do a Zoom meeting before.
HL's iPhone, whoever's just joining, we keep getting feedback and I don't know who you are because I can't see. Sounds like I got it again. So just food for thought that I always am trying to tell you guys to do. Thank you for sharing, Jen, though. That sounds like you are definitely getting out of your comfort zone and talking to people. So I love it. It definitely sounds like you are doing that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Tracy said she was going to share. If anybody else wants to share, let us know. Tracy, you want to share?
Yeah, I do it all. I'm trying to do it all. Internet is unstable. I'm sorry if
It's okay. You're a little spotty, but we can hear you, I think.
Okay. So I was like Tammy, skeptical, struggling, changing from a single person party. I was afraid that my hostesses wouldn't like it. And so I just started saying, this is what I'm doing. It's going to be so much fun. And they were kind of like, oh, okay. To be honest, I've been doing it for a year now. And I save so much time and I have so many more parties because of it. It's funny how you can get a big group of people and they're fun. They feed off of one another and that fun. And have like, it was just shocking. More people, like when you post a thank you to somebody, 3 more orders come in, or when somebody plays the dice, more people play you know what I mean? Like you just see it kind of there, it's staying in front of them. So that was good. And I've only had a couple then say that they do a mega party, that they really like to party, and I tell them, well, I don't do that very often, but let me see what I can do. And I always manage to work them into my, but anyways, so that was one. Fundraisers, were we talking about fundraisers and club, right?
Fundraisers, clubs, and connected contacts.
Oh, I could talk your ear off, I swear. I'll let them watch the video about fundraisers. I one every month, and it's really hard sometimes to pick the right month is autism awareness or acceptance. So I have one that I just always I always do one too, and then I post about it in my parties, and then it's also in my survey. Have you talked to you? Does everybody know about surveys, right? So no, Jen, you don't. I'll tell you, we'll get together. I'll tell you, I will help you get a survey. It's super easy. It's really easy. I'll even send you a copy. But fundraisers are super fun. I love to do them, and I love to be able to give back. That's part of that gives our gives piece. I love to be able, and there are a lot of organizations that pull to my heart. So those are a lot of fun. And people get drawn to you for that, and they like to be able to give, right? They don't necessarily need anything else in return. And then, so I'm nearing the end of my cycle for my in September or August, I can't remember, started with this every 3-month club thing, and we're getting close. So I've had shop there last month, and a lot of people were totally into it way in the beginning, and I've had a handful been really excited about it. So traditional clubs were spend 35 or 50 or whatever every month for 4 in a row. And then I think you shared this before, where we were doing, it was 4 girls, $50 a month, and they for like a whole year, but it was once every 3 months. So many people hop on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. And now we're scrolling through as we're getting through the end, or we're starting to fizzle out. I've had my first group, they just finished their year, right? This was the last time that they were shopping this month. And now I'm struggling again, trying to, like, they were interested in it at the beginning, and now it's just kind of, I don't know, like, I'm not really for interest in it. And I don't know if it's the group of girls that I'm partying with, or if I need to swap it around again. So I'm open for suggestions. I'm gonna try something new.
Yep. So peaks and valleys with that for sure. I'm going to come back to that just because I do want to go backwards just a pinch, because I was reading the comments to Lisa. Yes. So both friends and follow-up count. Anything goes for connected contacts. You're doing follow-ups from your party. You're doing the people in the party. You're doing your customer group page. Anything goes, you name it. Yep. And so you're just always looking. And once you get going, follow-ups is the easiest. I mean, honestly, if you can follow up with everyone from the party, and even if they didn't order, find out what happened, right? Like, why didn't they order? Because you're going to find out maybe she needs 31 because she needs some extra cash, or maybe she wants to just take the free stuff and run, and she would have a party, whatever that looks like. Okay, so back to Tracy then with clubs. So, you know, clubs can be peaks and valleys. They really can. I know Shannon does the every other month club, and she sees a lot of success with that. She also does the, you know, I believe Shannon does the 50. I don't know. She could tell you for sure if she does the 50 or 35, but I know her internet's a little sketchy. Okay. But the point is with clubs that I think I stress to everybody is put your feelers out for a few different ways. Because I find when they have options, and I know it's scary because for some of you right now, you're like, I can't even get one club to fill. You guys think Danielle thinks I'm going to fill 3? What the heck is she talking about? But I'm telling you, people like options. So when I tell them right now, I have 4 options. Now, mind you, you might not be able to do 4. I get that. I'm in front of more people than some of you are. But if they have 2 options, they still may like it. So right now, my 4 options, just to give you an example, are the typical 6-month for $35 a month for 6 months. Okay, that's our normal. That's how the club started. That's your 200. That's what a lot of people did back in the day. I also do the 4-month for $50. Now I am finding with this special, people will spend that. When we first started that, I was like, oof, are you going to get people to spend 50? Oh my gosh, right. Everybody spends the 50 because they want the half off special, right? Then I'm also doing the 4-month every other month. I'm also doing it every month, but I only do the 4 for 50. I personally find when it's spread out for a year, I tend to lose some of them. And I wasn't liking that. That's my personal. Now Shannon does a great job. So again, it's always going to be different. Then believe it or not, again, because they're using that special, I'm doing a 3-month for $65. I started that at Christmas because October, November, December, I thought, well, this will be easy. They're going to knock off Christmas gifts. They're going to spend 50. They're going to get half off. They're spending 65 for 3 months. Boom. They're going to want this. I'm still doing it. It's still running. People are still just loving the simplicity of 3 months. And they're like, heck yeah. And they're buying their cubes and they're organizing their whole little dresser into cubes, or they're knocking out all the birthdays and graduations and Mother's Day presents, whatever it looks like, right? Or they're just spoiling themselves. They're like, there's 3 purses I want, and I want to get them all half off for 3 months in a row so my husband doesn't kill me, right? I mean, there's all kinds of reasons. So take Tracy's, take mine. And I really suggest you get out of your comfort zone, because I'm not gonna, I know it's uncomfortable, and try to give at least 2 options. And then if you build it, they will come fill it. Now, sometimes the best people to get more club members are the ones already in your club. That's the other thing I want to tell you. Those club members, once they're in it, I'm telling you, they are telling everybody and their brother at their party how much they love the club. So use that. Give them something nice. Give them some type of referral, whether it's free shipping next month or an extra little gift certificate or happy mail or whatever that looks like. But you get them in the club, they generally love it, and they're going to help you get more club members too. So, but there's peaks and valleys. I mean, there really are. There's times that I've got 10 clubs, and there's times that I'm down to 3 or 4, and I'm like, what happened? And there's been times in the past that I've had none. Like, I get it, right? Like that when I used to have 3 and 4 clubs, yes, then all of a sudden I would have none and be like, oh my gosh, I love clubs. They keep my business so stable. So yes, those are my suggestions.
That's a good idea, because I know when my hostess is a full party, like do a Facebook party, and they posts hit, they are all over it, and they talk all about how much they love it and what a great it was. And that is where I get members. So absolutely. So true. Yep,
for sure.
Thank you.
Okay, we are at 9:30, and I like to try to keep this for an hour. However, I would love to hear from anyone else, if there's anybody else that wants to share on any of those. Anybody? I know we have a lot of new people, so there might not be. Yeah, go for it.
Can you hear me, Danielle?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I keep losing connection. This is like the 4th time I've been on here.
Know.
So, but I just want to talk about the clubs too. I do the 4 for 50 every 3 months, like we were talking about, and that I've been doing it that way for probably about 2 years now. But a lot of my past club members have been members that were already doing it the 6 months in a row or the every other month when we were doing the $35. And the reason my girls are liking it now is
shoot, she cut out. And I want to know, why do they like it? I want to say it's because it spreads over I don't want to talk for her, but I think it's because they go over more than one catalog, because they've like already gotten so much stuff. She gets repeats. But Shannon, are you back? Because I don't want to answer. I don't remember the exact answer. She froze. This is like the worst cliffhanger, Shannon.
Hey, Danielle.
Yes.
Maybe if everybody but you and the person speaking take their video off, that will help, because I know that's what we do during our IEP meeting. So if everybody can just take their video off.
Yep. I know she's got really bad internet connection on the boat right now too, though. Yeah, I think we lost her even. All right, it's okay. We'll have her share. I got to share Tracy's video, and we'll make Shannon do a video because she's good at clubs too. Like I said, I think her answer, and I mean, it makes sense, and she can tell us more if there's more to the cliffhanger. I know she gets people that do clubs over and over again, but at the same time, they're like, we don't really need to spend every month. So I think that's a huge part of hers too. So, and you'll get people to do more and more clubs. Now, if you've been listening, because I know we've got a lot of new people on the call, and you really don't know that much about clubs, or you really don't know that much about fundraisers, have no fear. They're in that training group that I talked about. So there's lots of ideas and lots of things in there. Also, oh, Shannon, she's back. Go, you got the floor. Go quick before we lose you. You're muted. You're muted, Shannon. You're muted.
All right, I'm here. I'm here.
Been drinking.
I have not had a drop to drink. You hush. Well, okay. Anyways, like I said, my club members have all been in the clubs for so long. That's why they chose to do the other every 3 months. But my new members, because I've been doing the connected contacts a lot this past week while we were on vacation, I have got 8 to 9 ones still thinking about it that are new, that have never been in a club, that are doing it the same way. So I'm continuing to do mine that way because it works better for me, because I got the 4. Almost every single one of them have already said they want to do a party along with their club also, because I'm doing like those 3 or 4 questions. And I'm going through and I'm doing all my connected contacts with the people that are in my current VIP group, starting with the very first people that joined in my group. So I'm doing all the old people first. So they have not ordered from me in about 5-6 years. So I'm starting to get some of those old customers back. So that's what I am doing. So I just wanted to put that out there. Oh, and also I am doing the mega parties. They seem to work better for me, and I only got to do 1 party a month.
Yep. And the cool thing is with Shannon that she's kind of doing is she's announced in her customer group that she's doing it. So it's kind of like that button that says, like, if I don't ask you to blah, blah, blah at checkout, you get it free, right? Like, she's not giving away something free, but she's doing a giveaway, but not necessarily for that. But she's holding herself really accountable too, that like, I am literally, she's telling them all, I'm going to message every single person in here, right? Shannon, I think that's kind of how you did it, right?
Yes, I'm messaging everybody in my Facebook group, and I've only got through like 125 of them, and I got like 500 more to go yet. So I'm hoping I
She's
can get
been through 125 and she's already got what, 8 or 10 new club members, something crazy like that though.
new ones that have never
Yeah.
did the club before, and I still got some other club members that are redoing it again. So I've
And
got
the
3
four-
clubs filled right now.
The 4 questions, if you don't know what the 4 questions everyone keeps talking about, that is in Seize the Day. So I talked about that earlier today. I can't stress enough to watch the Seize the Day, because Andrea Carver, a colleague, a 31 sister of mine that's rocking it, she talked about the 4 questions and they're just amazing. So it would be a whole nother training right now for me to sit here and tell you, and I don't have it because it's not mine, it's hers, and I got to do it too. So, but a lot of people are having a lot of success with the 4 questions. It's basically kind of like sliding down the mountain, but very strategic about it. So, all right, we are past time. Unless anybody else wanted to share, I will give you one last chance. Anybody else want to share? Because I do love hearing from all of you guys. Going once, going twice. I don't see anybody unmuting. Okay, thank you so much. I love doing these. I'm really excited to keep doing just a midway one like this. This one I would really like to do more where you guys are talking like this. That's kind of the goal of these, because I think you learn so much from each other and you get to ask questions. So the bingo will be a little more celebrating, informational from me, a little less talking from everyone else, but we'll share a little bit and we'll celebrate and we'll have the game. And then the other one like this, the mid-month one, I really want to just, like I said, dig in and kind of troubleshoot and listen to everybody and have stuff. So it did get recorded. So I know that if you've got teammates that are asking, I did get it recorded. Give me till tomorrow probably to update it, because I've promised myself I'm going to bed at 10 p.m. tonight. We shall see if that really happens, but I'm trying. So that does not include uploading a video. I will tell you that right now. So I will do that tomorrow. For those that maybe hopped on late too, if you want to watch the beginning, there was lots of good stuff too. And let me double check the conversation here too before we go. I want to make sure there wasn't anything else I missed here. It's not scrolling for me. I can't get it to scroll. Does somebody want to shout at me? Is there any questions? Can you read it, Tracy? Is there anything past that I missed? I think I got Lisa's answered and nothing. Just
Questions, just some updates.
pattern back and forth. Good. Yep, that's good. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, thanks.